Today in the Vintergatan workshop, I want to try to finish my funnel project. So I'm building this PET extension to capture all the marbles in the marble test. Remember, we played 50,000 marbles and 4 marbles went outside the funnel. So that's the problem I want to solve. I'm almost completely done with this design. I have a final iteration to do. Today I will try to do the iteration and then make the final parts for all the 3 drum funnels and attach them so we can put them on the machine and move on to marble testing. That's the goal for today. Wilson is super excited. I am super excited. I made a poster for Castaway too. Wilson loves it. So the first change I have to do is I have to secure the perimeter. If you look at the design, this is very flappy. And if a marble hits right here, you can kind of see how that opens up a hole here and the marble can escape through this line. This triangle here should sit on this shield instead. The first one is crucial. I think it's really important for the functionality. Number 2 is aligning the slots. That's an aesthetical change. I want the design to feel as natural as it can, being an afterthought as it is. And these slots here are all over the place. So I want to streamline them so it kind of feels more natural and that the slot direction is like coming from the direction of the metal wire. Number 3 is I'm gonna make a smaller version for the snare drum. The snare funnel has captured 30,000 marbles without a single fail. So I want to make a lower version for the snare drum. So here was the dividing line before, and I'm now going to freehand what I think should be the new dividing line. I think this feels very correct, this division that I moved the flap. I'm gonna make the slots thinner to just stiffen up these parts even more. So these are the final templates. Let's look at the generations of parts. So this was generation 1, generation 2 from yesterday, generation 3, this is the one we made today when the corner has changed. And the last generation is the drum funnel. As you can see, the drum funnel is lower. Yes, I'm done with the first version of the drum funnels and they actually look pretty good for coming from a PET bottle. Before we look closer, I want to show you all the generations that led up to this. So on the top row, we have the back shield 6 generations, and on the front row, 6 generations of the front shield. And this iterative process is actually the only thing that could have gotten me through this project. I decided to do 2 small versions for the snare and the hi-hat and 1 large version for the kick drum. So the shields helps in 2 ways. The target area is larger. It also helps from marble bouncing out. I had this problem with marbles hitting perfectly but wanting to bounce out. Now the funnels are much deeper. The marbles won't have the kinetic energy to be able to hit and then bounce out again. So you can see the back profile is nice following the curve, and the slots are parallel with the gaps of the 2 halves. The slots are also parallel with the marble arc, how the marble entered to the funnel. It looks welcoming to the marble. So the green plastic and the cut quality is not okay. So I want to ask if someone wants to help me laser cut nice versions of these shields. If you're interested in laser cutting these shields, here's all the info, and I think a variety of thicknesses would be interesting. 0.4 to 1 millimeter, that will be a little bit more stiffer than the material I'm using now. Let's take a closer look at this. The target area is now 9 centimeter, previously 5 centimeters. And on the length, 16 centimeters, previously 10. And the depth, 21 centimeters, previously 14. So you can see that this oval is not perfectly lining up. That's why I think maybe some thicker material will look a little bit better. So this is 0.28 millimeters thick, 0.4, 0.6 perhaps. It looks so crazy. It is kind of cool in the end. It's the world's first PET funnel, you know? Every day you do something that never happened in the history of the Earth. But then I have to say that the small version is my favorite. I think the small version actually looks really, really nice. 8 centimeters instead of 9, as on the big one. On this funnel, I wrapped the edge over the metal bar. That looks pretty nice, actually. Tomorrow, I'll put these on the machine and put them to the test. The hardest thing with this project was to kind of admit that I was wrong with the funnels, or wrong. I didn't calculate for 50,000 marbles. That's the story of the whole design process of the Marble Machine X, is that I underestimated the complexity that is caused by having to do so many repetitions of something. Basically, that's how life evolved on Earth. There's so many planets in the universe that has the possibility to... We are basically a marble on the floor. That's what I mean. When I was building these things and testing these things, I dropped 20 marbles and everything worked great. And I was like, oh, this is working. I remember when I was a kid going to IKEA, they had a machine sitting down in a chair behind glass and rising up again, like pushing down on the chair. And with a little digital meter telling the customers how many times the machine went down and up from the chair to kind of like stress test the chair's design. This is only one of all the underestimations I have done. I also heard, by the way, don't underestimate the person who overestimates himself. So I admit to myself that I had to fix this problem. It was very overdue. I should have done this 2 years ago. I'm very excited for the next marble test. It will be so fun to see like no marbles missing the funnels. I am sure some marbles will escape between the halves or something. Then I will just tape them together and skip the movement. I will just sacrifice aesthetics for functionality. That's my plan for 2021. I really need to finish this machine for everyone's sake. Right, Wilson? During 2020, I seriously thought that the most responsible thing would be to give up, to admit myself defeated by this project. Now I have a completely different feeling. Now I kind of just want to follow through with the iterative process, focus, doing deep work. When I was sewing these on today, I listened to a video today about how social media stops us from doing deep work. There's hundreds of these videos out there, but I thought this author was kind of straight to the point. I'll pin that video in the comment section. The Marble Machine X project is doomed when I'm not focusing correctly. By focusing correctly means I have to ignore everything else in my whole life. And when I'm doing that, I'm in the flow, I'm happy, I'm having so much fun every day, I'm learning so much. As long as I'm sacrificing everything else, this project is so worth it. And I hope today marks the end of marbles missing the drum funnels. I think we're over and done with that. If we can make a more beautiful version with nicer cut finish, I think this is actually gonna be really cool in the end. So yeah, really happy to share this with all of you on a daily basis here on the Second Wintergatan channel. So thank you so much for watching. Thanks to everyone supporting through Patreon and YouTube members. I'm feeling optimistic today. So have a wonderful day. See you tomorrow.